Hello, hello, and welcome to the second half of season 5. I can't believe that we're already halfway through the year. My name is Debbie Heiser. I help entrepreneurs make a lot of money doing what they love without sacrificing what's important to them. I feel an urgency to help people let go of past messaging so that they can lead a lit up life. And with that, I want to again welcome you. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the show.
Straight from the corners of my mind is where I find my sanity. It's a place, another land, another time.
Hello there. Before we get started with this week's episode, I wanted to pop in here just really quickly and offer up to you 2 different ways that you can work with me. I have private clients that I work with throughout the year to help them quantum leap their business, identify what they want their life to look like so that the business becomes a conduit to that versus running their life. And then the second one is a women's mastermind. This is the second one to kick off, and I'm so excited to start this one in 2024. And I believe the retreat is going to be potentially in Belize, but keep an eye out for it. But this is where we get together, again, quantum leap your business, but it's with a group of other really high vibrational, successful business women that want to level up, want to continue to progress in their achievements and in their business. So with that, click away on the website and check out those exciting events. I'd love to either see you as a private client or in the 2024 Women's Mastermind. Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Lead Your Life with Debbie Heiser. I cannot believe that this is the last episode of 2023, and we're getting ready to start our 6th season. Keep an eye out. You might see a few things a little differently than we have it in the past, but the same great content from both myself and some guests that I have. So today, I always like to end the year with a couple of things. You know, about 90 days ago, we talked about the end of the year and how to end with a strong 90 days that set you up for the start of 2024. And so now I want you to get really intentional, and we're going to talk about what's your word. And I've done one of these every year at the end of the year. And I want you to just give a moment. And one of the things that I want to kind of throw out there is don't filter, meaning that sometimes we have a word come to us and then we justify why that word's not going to work for us. So just jot down some words, then pick which one resonates with you the most. You may experience what I did, where I had a word just come to me and I'm like, yep, this is the word that is my word for 2024. And sometimes that happens for me. Other times I'm jotting them down, and I even kind of went through a thing of, okay, health was really because I pick a word at the beginning of each year, and then I pick a word for my next birthday. So on my birthday, and last year I picked health, and the day of my birthday, I got really sick for 2 or 3 weeks with the virus that shall not be named. And it really kicked my butt, and it's really helped me to look at and do some things this year to get my health in order. And so it's kind of a focus. When you think about a word, it doesn't have to be a goal. Now, we do know, and there's research that says if you have written down goals, if you have certain specific things in mind, you have a higher probability of completing those things than if you did not. Now, I'm a firm believer in also having vision and a vision board. So if you haven't signed up, check out in the show notes a link. We're having a virtual vision board on January 4th. So you can tune in from anywhere in the world. It is 5 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we'll actually go through a meditation at the beginning to kind of get you in this space of thinking about your future, and not just in your head, but kind of in your heart and everywhere else. So check that out. Would love to have you join us. But that creates a vision and helps you with that. But there's also then this idea of having an intention for the year and choosing a word. And so the reason that's important is it almost becomes a little bit like your acid test. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to stick strong and hard to it. And it doesn't mean that there aren't times that other things come into play. For instance, I had a goal to get rid of 50% of what I owned. I'm not going to get to the 50% mark, but I've gotten rid of a lot of things and I've purged. And every time I go somewhere, like even when I went to Italy, it stopped me from buying more things because I kept thinking to myself, okay, if I have to take something away to put this in my home or wherever it was, what am I going to take away? So it changed the way I thought. So this is kind of that subconscious but conscious intention for the year. So it's really important to think about a word or a theme. It doesn't have to be just one word, but a theme of where you're headed. Now, it doesn't mean that just because health was my birthday year word, and harmony was my word for last year, it doesn't mean that I'm still not putting focus on those, because those are things I desire in my life. And I'm a firm believer I had harmony and I still have harmony. And it's noticing those things and identifying where it is in your life. So I would just ask you to think about, what's your word for 2024? When all push comes to shove, what's kind of a focus for you? It may be family, it may be relationship, it may be harmony, it may be peace, it may be joy, it may be, who knows, like there's so many, adventure, as I'm looking at my sign, something that sparks something for you that fills you up with pizzazz, I guess, that helps you look forward to what's coming. So that it's important because it allows you, it's almost like a purpose for yourself. And so like for me, my word is integration. So integrating my health, meaning mental health, spiritual health, physical health, emotional and intellectual health, making sure that I'm doing things that support the integration of that and trying, I guess, a little bit like harmony, but staying in that. Also, I just experienced this lovely weekend with a collective of women, and really about staying in touch with that action energy and the energy of receiving, because I can do action and put these goals into place and all of this stuff. But if I'm not open to receiving it, it doesn't matter. So I want you to think about what might come to you as a word. Like what is it that you want to focus? And here's the key thing. I don't want you to filter and say, oh, well, it should be my family. No. That's not how this works. There are things that we do and we're grateful to do them. Like I'm so grateful that I was able to have my son as my son and raise him and do those things. It's not about the shoulds. It's about thinking about what is a desire that you have. So I have this desire of integration, integrating play and work. And I do some of that today, right? Like, so I don't want it to sound like it's this word that's like this, I haven't done it before and I'm going to do it. It's about integrating and making sure that I'm also integrating not only my masculine and feminine, but that I'm integrating my health, that I'm integrating when I make decisions, not to just come at it from my head, but to embody and my foresight that comes with that. So there's a lot of things with integration that happen that will allow me to then focus on tasks or actions or even ways of being that allow me to then feel like I'm integrating avenues in my life. So when you have your word, then as you're looking at creating a vision for yourself, and it could be a business vision, and I've talked about the vivid vision before, but also this personal vision. And I have vision boards, and actually I have some from previous years, and then the one I have for myself for 2023 is right over here, and I just finished one for 2024 that's right over there in my office. So again, vision board night, come learn how to do that, create your own. And then once you have that vision, once you have that word that you kind of want to focus on, And I'm realizing I might need to find integration and put it on my 2024 vision board. I did not do that last year either, but it doesn't matter. It's what works for you. So once you have that vision, once you have that kind of focus or intention for the year, and I will ask you, what do you normally do? Do you make New Year's resolutions? Do you choose a word? Like for me, I stopped doing New Year's resolutions. It was kind of a setup for failure for me. It doesn't mean that it doesn't work for other people, but I found I was better off looking at then kind of my vision. And now I've got my personal vision, and I have a vivid vision, which is a 3-year vision for my business, 3 years plus. And then taking that and saying, okay, what gets me closer to that vision? And being open to my subconscious doing things too. And sometimes it's just about being open to saying yes to the things that you want to say yes to, and saying no to the things you don't want to say yes to. So when you're doing that work, kind of looking at that, don't get too caught up in the goals yet, because then it's about, once you've got your word and your vision for yourself and or business, then it's about setting up a plan for that, right? So like I have a business plan, and then I have kind of a sheet that I have for other areas in my life, that I have kind of annual things that I look at and I think about, okay, I don't necessarily have a daily practice where I'm meditating, praying and meditating, and or getting out into nature. Now with ski season, that's different. I do have that. But so that would get me closer to my integration, as well as it's not just a part of self-care, but it's actually a part of the work that I do. And so looking at those things and saying, okay, as part of this year, I want to incorporate a daily practice that works for me. And part of that is a nighttime routine. Some of you are going to gross out, but for years, I've not brushed my teeth at night. Well, I started brushing my teeth at night because I wear a mouth guard now. And so like continuing to stay in that routine, but then adding potentially other things. And that's this habit stacking that we talk about, where once you have a habit, stack the habit. You know, I heard somebody talk about how they put their tennis shoes on top of their toilet, because then when they got up in the morning and went to the bathroom, they immediately put their tennis shoes on and they were ready to work out. Whatever works for you, right? So again, it's not about how many things you can do, but what works for you is able to then integrate into your life to live this lit up life that you potentially dream of. And some of you just struggle with the dream. So this episode is going to be a little bit shorter than the rest. And I wish all of you a very happy holiday. I hope you've had a wonderful time of year and a happy new year. Pick out a word. I would love to have you put a comment into social media when you listen to this about what your word is, and look for some more information about that, as well as come join us for the Vivid Vision board night. So would love to see you. And with that, folks, 2023 is a wrap. We'll see you in 2024. Thanks so much for listening. The song Ride is co-written and sung by Miss Jackie Wilson and her collaborators Tyler Banks, David DJ Lee, and Chris Renee. And a huge shout out to them for allowing us to use this perfect song. Everyone have a fabulous week, and I'll talk to you next week.